Time now for the NTV Sports Desk.
Good Friday morning, everyone. It's all about boys state basketball. Sports director Darren Winberg has highlights from some of yesterday's biggest quarterfinal matchups.
And let's start with an epic battle in D2 where the experienced 23-3 Osceola Bulldogs were ready to tangle with SEM, who's making their first state appearance since 2007. But early on, as the Mustangs getting out and running off the misses, the junior Jace Rosentrader going coast to coast and finishing at the rim for two of his game-high 25 points. Mustangs now leading scorer Kellen Eggleston with the nice up and under, and it shows as he gets the shooter's touch with the floater as he finished with 11 points. But the Bulldogs trailing by 4 when sophomore Kelby Newhour and cuts the deficit in half with the reverse lay-in. But then the junior Cale Gustafson putting in work as he's spinning and winning as he finished with 24 points. But it's the Mustangs that take the lead at 5 at the half. Fourth quarter now, it's Eggleston out in transition, turning on the Jets as he gets the and one to put the Mustangs up 6. And that it would be the coach's son. The senior going 7 for 8 from the line to close this one out as they would win 62-54.
That was probably the most fun game I've ever coached in my life. That was enjoyable. Our kids played so hard, did the right things down the stretch. Free throws and layups, that's what we preach all the time, and they executed it perfectly. I'm so proud of them.
And over to the Bob for the afternoon action, whereas a rematch of last year's third-place game that saw Norfolk Catholic Knights beat Amherst. But the 24-1 Broncos are not shying away from this one. Off the miss is Carter Riesland with the offensive rebound. He kicks it to a wide-open Tage Hadwiger, who rattles it home for 3. Then off the steal, it's the Knights' Maxwell Hammond, who lays this one in to cut the deficit to 6. But Nolan Elo says 6 is too close as he's going to make it 9 as he drains the 23-footer. If some is good, more is better. As the crowd was yelling defense, and Elo answers that as he goes hard to the rack off the steal and lays that one in for the deuce. Let's go to the fourth quarter now, and the Broncos are trailing by as many as 10 when Hadwiger hits the turnaround jumper to cut it to 1. And under 30 to play, the play of the game. Elo with the steal. He finds Carter Riesland, who gets the and one bucket to send this one to overtime. And in overtime, the Broncos would outscore the Knights 10-2, and the Broncos are moving on to the semis with the 57-49 win.
Well, when we were down, we were struggling. We couldn't really connect the dots with their 2-3 zone, which it was very, very well. But as soon as we got it clicking, we started to go. And that last fourth quarter, it was just something else.
And the Broncos would take on the winner of another C2 game as the 7-seed Tri-County and Carter Sims were looking to upset the 3-seed Donovan Trumbull. And early on at Sims, spinning and winning and getting this one to rattle home. But the Cardinals, they're going to answer right back. Off the miss is the big man, Jaden Williams, crashing the offensive glass and getting the putback to tie this one up. Then off the steal, Caden Dedamore with the acrobatic finish in the lane as this one was all tied up at 15 after 1. Second quarter now, Sims driving. He finds Caden Bales, who slings it baseline to Andrew Sass for the 3-ball corner pocket as the Trojans took a 4-point lead. But the freshman Jack Poppy, he hesitates and then he buries this one from deep as they take a 1-point lead heading into the half. But Sims is a bad man as he put the Trojans on his back here for 2 of his 30 points as they upset the 3-seed with a 56-41 win.
More boys state basketball action now. We send it out to NTV's Matt Frieda in Lincoln.
After day one full of highlights, the Boys State Championship continued Thursday here at the Devaney Center, including an overtime thriller between Amherst and Norfolk Catholic. But first, we bring you the highlights from some of the other kids hitting the hardwood today.
Crazy ending in this one. Number 2 ranked Shelton Bulldogs looking to advance to the semifinals tomorrow, taking on the number 7 Santee Warriors. The Bulldogs with the early start. Look at the vision by Riley Bombeck delivering the cross-court pass to Ashton Simmons for the easy 2. Bulldogs leading 19-10 after the first quarter. He can pass, he can pump fake, and he can fly. Bombeck with the hang time on the pretty jumper. Bulldogs leading Santee 39-26 into the locker room. But Santee with the furious third quarter comeback entering the fourth, and they move the ball around and find the open Numpa Torres in the corner for the money ball. Warriors leading 64-46. But Bombeck wasn't done. Other side of the floor, another 3. and Shelton chipping away at the lead. It's now Santee 66-64. Under a minute to go, and a technical foul assessed on Santee. Simmons goes to the line for 2. He hits the first to tie it and the second to put Shelton up by 1. And Santee's last second heave would fall short as Shelton with the ultimate yes victory, 72-68, and advance to Friday's semifinals.
An eventful day as the playoffs continue Friday with the semifinals leading up to championship Saturday. For more scores and highlights, visit our website at nebraska.tv. Reporting from Lincoln, I'm Matt Frieda.
We got one more for you. York Dukes taking on the Scottsbluff Bearcats in Class B. Dukes looking for their first state title since the 2018 season. To pick it up at the end of the second quarter, Dukes out to a solid lead. Garrett Ivey hits a triple to give York ahead 30-22. They keep the lead heading into half. Third quarter, Scottsbluff looking to take the lead late. Bearcats' Carter Reisig with the ball around the mid-range. He shoots it up and hits the jumper, 41-40. But the Dukes weathered the storm. Here in the fourth, they look to close it out. Ryan Houston steals it and ditches it to Marshall McCarthy, who scores as the Dukes win this one, 67-54.
We feel like we've been underrated all year, so we kind of had that fire the whole time. But yeah, it definitely was a big deal today. Here, no one ever has to string tie. We feel like everyone's always getting love except us. We have one of the most talented teams I've ever played with, ever seen in Class B, and we're not getting enough love. And I think we deserve it. And I think we showed that today, and we're going to show it again tomorrow.
Matt and Darren are back at it today for semifinal Friday in Lincoln. Have a great Friday, everyone.